In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to get rich quick. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions around the phrase get rich quick because as soon as I say it or as soon as it's said, most people think of, that online guru guy who's like, you could be making $1 million tomorrow or next week easily just by clicking a few buttons. All you got to do is buy my $5,000, buy my $1,500 course, right? That's it. And of course, I feel the need for a disclaimer. There is no pitch. There's no pitch or sale or anything at the end of this course or even in the middle. I essentially just want to lay out exactly how it all works, how people go ahead and get rich quick. Because me, myself, I've been able to make my first 10K per month in around 9 months and my first 100K per month within less than 2 years of starting. And this video is essentially for not only my younger self, right? My younger 18, 19, 20-year-old self, but also all of the people who, they might see somebody with a certain lifestyle. People ask me all the time, Tyson, like, how did you do it? Like, how did you actually do it? They see me in public and, they're my personal friends, or they see me pull up in a new car and, they always have all these questions. So in this video, essentially, I want to answer all those questions, prove to you that you yourself can get rich quick, even if you're an average person, and reveal to you the number one wealth equation that will actually help you get there and is the explanation to why, some people who get there and some people who try don't end up getting there. So that's essentially what we're going to be talking about in today's video. So get rich quick. It doesn't mean what most people think that it means. That's because each part of the word is subjective. So let's add some actual parameters to it. Getting rich. What is rich? Well, the biggest milestone in income that most people can agree on is $10,000 per month, which is around six figures, $100,000 a year. It can be called multiple things, but that's essentially it. $100,000 a year. And the reason why is because, this is the top 1% of income around the globe is $100,000 a year. And it unlocks a whole bunch of freedoms in your life that you never had before at lower income streams or income levels. And like I said, I've made 5K a month, 10K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month. And the difference between 10K a month and 50K a month is negligible. What can you really do that you didn't do back then? Not really anything. But the difference from $2,000 a month to $10,000 a month is colossal, right? I was there. I've been there. I remember I was working as a carpenter, right, which is basically a construction worker who builds houses and works with wood. I did that for around 6-7 years, and backbreaking work, right? Backbreaking work, 10-hour days, 50 to 60 hours a week, and it kind of almost blows my mind now that I'm working not even half as much, probably around half as much or a little bit more, and making, an extremely amount more. I don't even know what the multiple is. Way, way, way more money, right? So all that to say that 10K per month is rich by most people's means. Now, of course, you're going to have that random dude out there that's like, oh, bro, 10K per month is broke or whatever. But let's be honest, 95% of people, if they were making 10K per month right now, they'd be able to absolutely revolutionize their life. Revolutionize everything in their life and revolutionize the people's lives around them as well. Quick. What is quick? Okay, so we know that you can get rich, but what is getting rich quick? Well, traditionally, this amount of income would only be possible if you went to university, let's say, and put in a good decade, nearly a decade of extreme work to get like a master's degree and become a doctor, lawyer, or work in STEM, sciences, technology, engineering, or math. But now, especially with all the new online business models out there, not only is it possible to get rich quick, and by quick I mean less than 10 years, but not just quick, not even just 5 years quick. You can do this in 1 to 3 years, relatively reliably. Relatively reliably in 1 to 3 years. I personally have not met anybody who's a legitimate hard worker. They do everything they're supposed to do, wake up when they're supposed to wake up, they put in the work they're supposed to put in, and they genuinely dedicate themselves to their online business model and don't make 10K per month within 2 years. But I'll say 1 to 3 years to be safe. So you know that it's possible to get rich quick, right? But how difficult is it? Who do you need to be? What do you need to have? Well, first of all, I want to assure you that difficulty-wise, again, not even one of the closest to one of the hardest things I've ever done. Probably not even one of the closest things to the hardest thing that you've ever done as well. Because, I mean, it's all about perspective, right? Putting it into perspective. You can get relatively rich, relatively quickly, relatively easily. My 2 9-to-5 jobs or day jobs, whatever you want to call it, that I told you I had. I was in the military and I was a carpenter. Those 2 things, way harder. Backbreaking work, difficult, extremely physical. With an online business model, you're in the comfort of your own home, sitting and probably typing some words, making some calls, doing some Zoom meetings. I mean, yeah, it gets discouraging sometimes. It can be difficult, but it's not exactly a coal mine. When you put these things into perspective, the opportunity that is provided for us is insane. And if you want to take advantage of that opportunity, then let me shed some more light on exactly how. So in this video, I want to give you access to what I call the wealth creation equation. And essentially, this equation accounts for why everybody you've seen make it or get wealthy or successful, why they've been able to do it, and why some people go ahead and try to, but never end up actually becoming successful or they quit, okay? So here it is, all right? I have it written out. It's called feedback times force plus time equals chance. So let's break this down. What does each of these mean? Feedback. Feedback is one of the most important things in all of business. And the reason why I put feedback instead of something like learn or study, right, is because feedback is the most efficient form of learning by far, okay? Let me give you an example. If I'm trying to teach you how to hit a tennis ball, right, I could explain it to you a million times. I could show you me doing it a million times. I could show you teaching and coaching other students doing it a million times. But until you actually take the ball and give it a swing, only then can I give you feedback on what you are currently doing. And that's the key right there. Because exposure to knowledge isn't necessarily learning like most people think that it is. People think that they can sometimes get rich just by reading a bunch of, wealth creation books. But I hate to break it to you. You read 100 books on wealth creation, and what have you really done? Have you built a business? No. All you've done is read 100 books. So that's feedback. Feedback is essentially the feedback from the market. And then there's force. Now, I love this word. I love the word force, especially in this context, because I could have used a word like massive action, or I could have used the word just like, doing the work. Why force? Well, the thing about force is that it implies that you are taking an action and making things happen despite the presence of a friction, despite the presence of opposing forces. And this is essentially what it is right here. When there is no way, it's finding a way. When you can't do it, you do it anyways. It really is just that simple. And the reason why, okay, so we have feedback, we have force, but this is also extremely important right here. Multiply, right? The reason why this is multiplicable is because this is a feedback loop. The more force you put in, the more feedback you get out. The more feedback you get out, the better force that you can create. And this is essentially what makes your potential, right? Or let's say your money, that's a backwards dollar sign, your money over time. This is what allows you to achieve this, an exponential growth curve rather than a linear growth curve. This is what will have you balling out of control, is feedback times force. Now, there's a couple other variables here that are also important. What are they? Time. Now, the thing with time is that it's a double-edged sword, right? If you want to make the money, you want to get the results as quickly as possible, right? You want to get there. You want to speed run, right? The goal is to speed run, but also you have to understand that with more time equals a greater chance. That's just what it is. So let's say you have, let's say you have two just situations. Would you rather be the dude who's been trying to make 10K a month consistently for 1 month, or would you rather be the dude who's tried to make 100K a month consistently for a whole year already? Right? You can just snap your fingers and make one of them happen. You would much rather take the one with the greater experience. Because the one with the greater experience, sure, he hasn't gotten the results yet, but he's gotten so much closer than the dude who's been at it for 1 month. So much closer than the dude who's been at it for 1 week. And that's just where it comes down to. The more time, the more chance. Although you want to do it in the quickest amount of time possible. Again, time is the double-edged sword here. And of course, the last variable here is chance. And chance is something that is also extremely important. Because in all of business, there are simply just no guarantees. There's no guarantee anything will work. There's no guarantee that it will work out. There's no guarantee that you will get a certain result. You are paying a known cost for an unknown payoff. And this right here is why most people don't succeed and why most people genuinely don't even try. See, one of the biggest things that stops people from starting is that they think that there's no opportunity for them out here because all the opportunity is already taken up. And sure, they see hundreds, they see thousands, they see hundreds of thousands of people out here taking advantage of this opportunity of making money online, but they don't actually do anything about it because they think, well, look, all these people are already doing it, so there must be not any left for me. And let me dispel that myth, because there is more than enough opportunity for you out here to make an abundance of money, a true abundance of money, even more than 10K a month, exponentially more than 10K per month. Here's why. So I'm going to tell you something that my mentor actually taught me, and my mentor heard it from somebody else, forget who he said it was by, but it's a quote that perfectly encapsulates why most people don't even start. And the quote that he gave me was, the pain of uncertainty is usually worse than the certainty of pain. People would rather know what they're getting into and have a laid out path that they know is going to be painful, know is going to be hard, and know is not going to be that fruitful, but they would rather do that because there's a higher percent chance that they're going to make it, rather than take a risk on creating an online business and not know if they're going to make it or not. And it's understandable. Understandable why people would be so scared that it wouldn't pay off or it wouldn't work out. But chances are, if you're watching this video right now, then you understand that in order to get outsized returns, you need to know how to manage risk. So when it comes to chance, right, essentially, your chances can never be 100%. And that's just true. That's just the God's honest 100% truth. But I'd also be lying if I didn't say that you get extremely close to like 99% chance that you're going to make it. Like, I'm talking about if you're using all the principles in here as they should be used, you're getting maximum feedback times maximum force over time. Let's say it takes 5 years there is an extreme chance that you're going to be making 10K a month. Like I would say that's 99.9%. I don't see how you can't. Because in 5 years, you have enough time to fail. You have enough time to lose, right? And of course, you can't spell ball without a couple L's. So if you want to ball, you're going to have to take some L's. But you're going to have to, you're going to already have those L's under your belt. You're going to already have that feedback, and you're already going to be able to get there. And that's one of the reasons why most people don't even try and why most people quit when they're really only a month, 3 months, 6 months in, is because this chance literally just destroys their psyche. They can't help but feel like they're doing all this work and they're extremely scared that what if it doesn't pay off? What if it doesn't? And that's why belief, right? And the whole first part about this video about belief is so important, because when you believe, when you realistically know that you can get there, then the rest is easy. I mean, feedback times force plus time, realistically, it's just simple. It's a simple series of actions that you need to do. The chance is what gets most people caught up. Okay, you know how to start, but where do you start? What business model, or what make money method, where to start? Well, that answer is best answered in my other videos, right? I'll throw a video on the screen now, and I'll also throw another video on the screen now, which is a free 4-hour course on copywriting. And copywriting is a way that I actually myself made my first 10K per month, and I've trained other people how to make 10K per month as well. So if you're looking where to get started, those two are really great places. Or you can just do whatever research you want on Google, on YouTube. There's no shortage of methods. But that is essentially how it all works.